Hello guys, welcome to the first session of polymers. In this session, mostly we will be focusing on classification of polymers based on different category like source, based on structure, based on mode of polymerization, and based on molecular forces. So let's start this topic. Okay. So first thing, why do we study polymer or what is polymer? So first thing is that polymers, they are actually backbone of a lot of industries. That is plastic industry, elastomers, fibers, paints and varnishers. So all these industries are actually based on polymers. So meaning of polymer means many unit or parts. So it's kind of repetition of many units and they are all linked in long chain. So they are also referred as macromolecules. Macromolecules, they are very big molecule and it's a single molecule. So you can see some of the examples here. Polythene. Okay, so polythene polymer is something like this. It is made up of ethene. So if there are n ethenes like this, they polymerize and there is this unit which is repeating always. So this makes it polythene. Okay, polymer of ethene is polythene. So how they are formed? They are formed by joining of repeating structural units on a large scale. The repeating structural unit that is derived from some simple and reactive molecules is known as monomer. Like for example, in the case of polythene, monomer unit is ethene, and all these polymers are linked together by covalent bonds. So there is always a formation of covalent bonds. So this bond, double bond, is broken into a single bond only is remaining, and this one carbon is bonding backside and this carbon is again bonding in the side, front side. So the process of formation of polymers from respective monomers is called as polymerization. So one example is of ethene, another example is of nylon 66, one of the most important compound or polymer, nylon 66. Nylon 66 is made up of hexamethylene diamine. So you can see one amine group here, another amine group here, and 6 methyl hexamethylene. Okay, so 6 methyl groups are there, and adipic acid. So again you can see here there are 6 carbon atom, and in adipic acid also there are 4 CH2, okay, and COH. So again 6 carbon atoms are here. So when they polymerize, they form nylon 66. The name is nylon 66 is because there are 6 carbon atoms here, and again 4 plus 2 is again 6. So this is nylon 66. Note down, and this is the repeating part, okay, or repeating unit. Now, first thing, classification of polymers. Classification based on source. Natural polymers, they are found in plants and animals. Example, proteins, cellulose, starch, resin, rubber. All these are natural polymers. Next is semi-synthetic polymers. So they are actually cellulose derived polymers. Okay, like they are derivatives of the cellulose. So cellulose is naturally occurring, just some derivative out of it is semi-synthetic polymer. So you can see cellulose acetate or cellulose nitrate are some of the example. Synthetic polymers are man-made polymers which are extensively used in daily life as well as in industry. Plastic, that is polythene, synthetic fibers, nylon 66 is an example, synthetic rubber, Buna S. So all these are man-made polymers which we use. Okay. Next classification is based on the structure of polymers. So how is the structure? You can see one of the structure is linear polymer. When it is actually the polymer is a long straight chain. You can see there is no branching at all. It's a straight chain. Okay. Example, high density polythene, polyvinyl chloride. It is PVC. Polyvinyl chloride is PVC. So please note down the examples are very important here. So long and straight chain is linear polymers. Then branch change polymers. So you can see this is a long chain, the main parent chain, and there is some branching here, there is some branching here, as well as there is some branching here. The example is low density polythene. Example is again very important. So they contain certain chains having some branches. So these three are branches. Next is cross-linked or network polymer. Okay, so already you can see cross-linked. So basically the branches are actually linking with other long chain. Okay, so they are usually actually formed by bifunctional group or sometimes trifunctional monomers, and they contain strong covalent bonds between various linear polymer chains. So if this is one chain, this is another chain, you can see that they are having link here as well as here. One of the most famous example is bakelite, which is used for making switches, and melamine, which is used in making unbreakable crockeries. The both examples are very important, and this is network or cross-linked polymer. Classification based on mode of polymerization, like how is the process of polymerization. So first method is addition polymerization or addition polymer. So addition polymers are formed by repeated addition of monomer molecule possessing double or triple bond. So here the monomer unit is always having double or triple bond. So like formation of polythene from ethene, okay, it was having double bond, okay, and it was getting converted into single bond. Similarly, polypropene from propene. So we have propene and it is making polypropene, same process. So these are some of the addition polymer examples. So they should have double or triple bonds and then they will extend to themselves. Now, inside addition polymer, there are two subcategory. One is homopolymers. Okay, so homopolymers are the one which are formed by polymerization of a single monomeric species when the repeating unit is only one compound. Example is polythene. Okay, the next is part is copolymer. Copolymers are made by addition of polymerization from two different monomers. So you can see that this is 1,3-butadiene, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. So butane, okay. First carbon and third carbon are having double bonds. So 1,3-butadiene, okay, very important compounds or very important starting reactant with styrene C6H5 benzene ring CH double bond CH2 styrene. So 1,3-butadiene with styrene makes butadiene styrene copolymer, which is also known as BUNA-S. So what is happening? This bond breaks, and a double bond is formed in between, and one side is open, the other side is getting connected with this carbon here. So you can see this is the structure of BUNA-S. So other example can be Buna N, Buna S are two example. So here what is happening? The different monomers are there. Like here it was only ethene, only a single reactant was there which was undergoing polymerization. Here two reactants are there which are undergoing polymerization, hence the name copolymers. Second is condensation polymers. So condensation polymers are formed by repeated condensation reaction between two different bifunctional or trifunctional monomeric units. So here also bifunctional or trifunctional monomeric units are there. Now, one important thing here is that there is an elimination of small molecule such as that of water, alcohol, hydrogen chloride, HCl. So this takes place. Some example is Decron or nylon 66, nylon 6. So these are some of the famous example. Like here is the reaction again. Nylon 66 that is formed by condensation of again hexamethyl diamine with adipic acid. Okay, so hexamethyl diamine, adipic acid. If you see what is happening, that one molecule, or in this case since we are doing n molecule reaction, so n molecules of water are removed, hence the name condensation polymerization. So please note down, from here this OH gets removed and from here the H gets removed. So this nitrogen is bonding directly with this carbon here. Okay, so this nitrogen is bonding directly with the carbon, and that side H is kind of that's going bonding towards that side, not H, actually nitrogen is bonding on the other side, and similarly here the carbon is again open for bonding on the other end. Nylon 66, very important, 6 carbons here, 6 carbons here, hence the name 66, or sometimes we say it 66, nylon 66. Classification based on molecular forces. So we know that there are a lot of mechanical property like tensile strength, elasticity, toughness, etc., etc., etc. Now all these mechanical properties are governed by intermolecular forces. Can be van der Waals forces, it can be strong hydrogen bonds, and so on. Okay, and these are the ones which are present inside. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to classify polymers based on the molecular forces. So one of the first one is elastomers. So polymers that the chains are held together by weakest intermolecular force. So elastomers are having weakest intermolecular forces. These weak binding forces permit the polymer to be stretched. Obviously, you can stretch since the forces are weak. And if you put few cross-link, okay, cross-links are the one which are kind of binding, like which are making the network polymer. Okay, so if you put some cross-link, you introduce them, they will help the polymer to retract. Like basically, if you can stretch them, so then they, when you release the stress, they come back to their original position. So you can see retract to the its original position after the forces released, as in vulcanized rubber. So basically rubber is actually having such property that it is very very elastic. If you stretch it, it will come back to its original position. Okay, like of that of natural rubber we are talking. So we need to do vulcanization of rubber, which I will explain in the later session. So example of elastomers is Buna S, Buna N, neoprene, etc. Look at neoprene structure. So this is CH2CCl, CH, CH2 n times elastomers. So please note down the example. Examples are very important. Elastomers. Next is fibers. So they possess high tensile strength and high modulus. Okay, very very important. So they are actually characterized by strong intermolecular force like hydrogen bonding. Example is nylon 66. Okay, so they are kind fibers are the one of the strong intermolecular force uh, polymers. Okay. Next comes thermoplastic polymers. So they are kind of intermediate between elastomers and fibers, like the middle way. Okay. So they are actually linear or slightly branched long chain molecule which are capable of repeatedly softening on heating and hardening on cooling. So if you heat them, they become soft, and if you cool them again, they become hard. So that cycle is always there. Okay, example is polythene, okay, polystyrene, PVC, polyvinyls, okay, etc. So this is your one example of PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride. The last one is thermosetting polymer. Thermosetting, they are kind of kind very very cross-linked or heavily branched molecule. So on heating, they undergo extensive cross-link. Basically, if you heat them, they undergo a lot of cross-link among themselves, and then they become infusible. Like you cannot reverse the process. Okay, and hence they cannot be reused. Example is bakelite, used for making switch, and then urea formaldehyde resins. So these are some of the resins which are used in the industry. So these are thermosetting. So once you heat them up, they are infusible. Okay, so it's very important to consider all these properties. And that's it from my side, guys. See you all in the next session. Thank you.